loyalists do not believe that those guys are still members of the House of Assembly.
Okay.
They do not believe it. They believe that they have defected to the APC and they have lost their seats. But what I've always said, and I'm still waiting for anybody alive who can fact check me and say that what I've said is not the truth. What I've said repeatedly is that it is the courts that can take their seats away from them. Yeah, and it's commonsensical. You know that what the law books say is that if you take a life, your own life will be taken in return. At least in Nigeria, the death penalty is still amongst our laws. But that somebody has killed maybe his wife or a colleague at work does not mean that it will not be subjected to trial, that they will just come and bring a knife and cut his neck.
Because it is in the law.
Because the law says
exactly.
Whoever kills
should
die. People who have lost their seats in the National Assembly that we have seen, the court took those seats from them. That is the legal way to get them to lose their seats. Now, people are not prepared to listen. Everybody has become a judge. They are not prepared to let the judges do their work. Everybody has become a judge in the River State matter. And when you tell them, let the rule of law be applied, let us be patient for the courts to decide. They tell you, oh, he's supporting Wike. Oh, Babajide is Wike's friend. Babajide is supporting Wike. How can I be Wike's friend? He knows in his heart that I'm not his friend. Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind about him. It was on this program that I said that I felt he was not acting his age by exchanging words with an Adeyanju that even me, as small as I am, I would not even exchange words with his elder brother. So to you, for saying the truth, Jide, Wike is Jide's friend. How is he my friend? I don't have his phone number, and I do not even need it. But the truth about our people, they just want, once they like you, today, some of the greatest thieves in our country, because they speak now like people who have moral conscience. There are people who do not believe that those people can do any wrong. If you attack them, they will say, oh. So this is the way we behave. In this matter, let's go back to this matter.
Okay.
The most important matter for the Supreme Court to resolve is whether Martin Amewule and others are still members. Because that, once that is resolved, it has a lot of ramifications. It then means if the Supreme Court rules that they remain members, if the Supreme Court thinks like the lower court thought and says you have not provided evidence that they've joined another party, it then means the actions that they have taken are valid. All of those laws that they were passing
remains valid.
Yes. The governor on his own side too, with 3 persons, they've also been passing bills. 3 persons looked at a trillionaire budget and hurriedly they say, okay, we passed ABAC. The Supreme Court will have to look at what our law says.
Okay.
Will the law say that in any situation, because law in most cases gets applied rigidly. I was trying to see where the portion of the Constitution that the Supreme Court, that the lower court affirmed was infringed. I think Section 96 of the 1999 Constitution,
okay,
which requires that for legislative business there must be a quorum formed.
Okay, quorum.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Section 96 of the 1999 Constitution. Now, if the quorum was not formed, and you and I know that 3 persons
cannot form
a quorum in a house of 31 persons.
Exactly.
You know, except if our mathematics is inverted. 3 persons, 2 of them members, 1 speaker, cannot form a quorum. If the rule is applied rigidly, then we know that Fubara is in trouble. If it is not applied rigidly, maybe the court will say there are conditions under which this can happen. Then legislative business can be permitted when so and so happens and all that. We are not lawyers. We read the law like other people. Thank God it's written in a language that we understand. So we too are in position to say, okay, this is what we think will happen. So that case, not this one, what Fubara and his lawyers have done is simply to say, okay, we are withdrawing this matter because it's already overtaken by events. That's not how they presented it to the judges. So they felt that, okay, on February 6th, we had already served a notice that we are withdrawing this matter. But don't forget, before anybody pulls the wool over our eyes, don't forget that that matter was in respect of the 2024 budget of the state.
Which has...
They have gone ahead to even present, while this case was on, before a resolution came, I had been pleading that the judiciary should hasten
this matter.
Hasten up this the resolution of this matter before the matter was resolved. As we have seen now, they had gone ahead to present 2025 budget to 3 persons. So, as far as they are concerned, the case was about 2024 budget. So, already overtaken, they've even implemented, they spent the money. They spent the 2024 budget. So, to them, what is the point? 2024, we've gone past 2024, we're in 2025. Another budget they presented. So, they didn't see any need to continue to pursue
the 2024
the matter that was decided by Justice Omotosho at the lower court, and then appeal court validated the same judgment. They lost both cases, and in spite of losing at the appeal court, he didn't think it was necessary to implement the order of the lower courts. Now, this one, they've gone ahead to present 2025 budget to 3 persons, 2 persons and a speaker. So they just felt in their heart that, what are we talking about? 2024 budget, we've already spent it, we presented, that one is passed, we've already even presented 2025 budget to 3-man house. So why should the case continue? So it was at their instance, and when at their instance they decided that they don't want to continue with the case, no one should feel that, oh, the Fubara is tired, he wants the case to end. No. This is just brinksmanship of some sorts. They are not prepared to say, okay, let this whole battle end. They are talking about 2024, is gone.
So it has nothing to do with, oh, maybe peace is on the horizon.
No.
It has nothing to do with that.
The people advising the governor are not people who want this matter resolved quickly. And a lot of them are making money. Some of them have left their states to camp in rivers, making money out of the crisis going on in river. They left their own state. They've left their own state to come and be making money in river state. They do not want this matter to end. So, and the governor is a politically naive person, somebody who does not have experience politically, so he's bound to listen to some of these things. But you see, it stands in the commonsensical that the Supreme Court has already, that matter, the Supreme Court has decided on it and awarded costs. There's a reason that the lawyers to the assembly members demanded that the matter should not be struck or should be dismissed outright.
So
and
that means
costs awarded.
It cannot be
so
relitigated.
So it goes into record. It goes into the record that this matter.
So it cannot be relitigated.
They lost this matter.
It cannot be brought
so
up.
So now, 2025, the same 2025
Yes.
budget now, the matter will still come up because they've already presented that one hurriedly too.
Okay.
It was passed. When the case is decided as to whether those guys are still members of the assembly, that is the big case that is tied to several others. There are up to 6 or so cases.
Yeah, exactly.
undecided.
To set up
So,
a chain reaction.
Yes,
Exactly.
as a chain of reaction that we would then begin to see it will that
It will
I've always said
settle
that is what will, all of the head banging on the wall that we
Yes.
are seeing will not resolve anything until that matter. Are they still members? That is the big issue that the Supreme Court has to decide. And once that is decided, I think that even to them, to Fubara and Co., that is the case that they are interested in. Not this one. They know that this one is gone. The budget, I'm sure they finished spending the money. So what is the point?
Okay.
And we are in 2025 now.
All right.
2024 is long gone.
GKV, do you agree with all of these things BK said? And also this case, the implication. What is the implication of this dismissal by the Supreme Court?
Well, in the first place, you must understand that the game the governor is playing is that of a bricksman. He's basically going to fight this battle in a way that will not give the impression that he's losing. That's the game he's playing. Because if this has gone to judgment and the judgment has gone against his team, it will have allowed the other parties to assume that this is a precursor to the main judgments that everybody is waiting for. So what he's going to do mainly is that every case of this nature that is already at the Supreme Court, that is not that case, this will happen to them as well. Because it's like consolidating all your options into one particular basket. Because that's the game that everybody's playing. Without those members being returned, Fubara will continue to play this game the way it's played. If the judgment is not given this year, he will also spend the money of the 2025 budget.
The 2025.
He will also go back to court. He will also withdraw at this level and then wait again for the 2026 budget. It's a game that has no end game.
So you think it's a deliberate?
It is deliberate. Because you don't want to create the impression that you've lost. It's a perception game.
Yes.
A lot of people that are making money from this don't want this matter to
They've
be
left their
decided
states. They are now
one way or the other.
family in rivers.
So based on that reality, we still have a long way to go. This is the evening of the case. We are not even at night yet. Midnight is still far off. So it is only the day the Supreme Court will decide that we are making this case. Don't forget there is no House of Assembly building. It was destroyed.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
And that will also be a factor, even after the judgment. If it goes against the governor, they will still go back and say, well, we cannot do this. They cannot sit anywhere. They have no building. Because I have a feeling that they want to drag this as much as they can, for as long as they can.
Yes.
That's the end game. They know they will, I don't want to say they will lose. They know that their case is weak. But like any other person playing the game, you know the story in the Bible about the two women fighting over a child.
So
it's the same thing here. You look at the game and say, okay, ultimately the team may turn against me, but how long can I drag this out?
Okay, but in this case, is this a victory for either party of the suit, or is this a victory for constitutional supremacy?
Yeah, we used to call this in table tennis tossing. You know what that means in table tennis?
Yes, I do.
Before you start the game, this is what we are doing now. We are tossing.
So this is preamble. We have not gotten to the...
Like I said, if that case is not, if those members are not returned or they are returned, then the real game will start. Right now, without that, we are just going around in circles.
BK, the issue in Rivers State.